evening, everybody. My name is Atul Grover, and I welcome you all in today's episode of 11 with Kelly. She known as 100 Days of Service Now. Definitely, everybody's have a thought that why 100 days? Who is Kelly? We are going to be start with that discussion very soon. But before we start, let's go as per our tradition here. Let's take 10-20 second pause. Pray to our God, to whom you worship. From where are you as of now? Pray to God and say, give us the power, give us the strength. So what we want to communicate to you, we can able to communicate, and the way we want to communicate, you should take it in the same manner. So let's take 10-20 second pause and we'll start again. Okay, so this is episode number 11, and this is special episode because we are celebrating the Women's Day. Before I start, I wish each and every woman who is watching this or who may watch this recording later on, I wish you very, very, very happy Women's Day. I know it's already gone. And 10th tomorrow we are celebrating the Mother's Day as well. So you are a mother. If you are a mother, definitely I wish you very, 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 very motherhood. Enjoy this motherhood, enjoy the Women's Day, go out definitely, but after this podcast, not immediately, in between podcast. Okay, so Kelly, welcome back in my episode number 11, unknown to known. People know you a lot, but I want to know more about you and want to be say that yes, now I know Kelly 100%, that this is what the lady is there. So the mic stage is over to you now. I want to be start. I want to be give a question to you. You can start as per the formal discussions. Who are you? From where are you? Where are you based out? What you're doing at point of time? Your qualification, experience. Over to you now.
All right. Well, listen, Atul, before we even get into that, I just want to say congratulations to you for a number of things. One, being ServiceNow MVP, Most Valuable Professional for 2024. I want to give you big props for what you're doing on your Learn and Grow YouTube channel. Over 10,000 subbies. Boom, 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 boom. I don't have my air horns, but I want to shout you out for that. You're doing some really incredible work, both in the technical side, bringing community together, and then also doing these spotlights. So I just really, want to just
Thank you
pay you
so
some
much.
mad props for that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
who am I? How did I get here? What's my background? Yeah, so I am based out of LA, born and raised. I have three children. I'm a mom, three young adult children.
Mhm.
My two of my children are artists. The other one, I guess he's kind of an artist too. He's in tech as well. I
Okay.
started 100 Days of Service Now. You mentioned that. I started 100 Days of Service Now a couple years ago, but I'll give you a little bit of backstory on that.
Mhm.
I went to school. I got my degree from UCLA and I studied business and economics. And then I later went on to get a master's degree. Some people don't know this, that I have a master's
Mhm.
degree in traditional Chinese medicine. And for a
Oh.
while, I had my own business in
Mhm.
an area of Los Angeles called Leimert Park. It was a wellness center. We did all kinds of healing modalities, including acupuncture, herbal medicine, all types of natural
Oh.
medicine, and yoga, all things like
Mhm.
that, and really served the community really well. My
Nice.
work personally, in terms of my profession, has always been in service to my children. So there was a time where I was even a school teacher, and that
Mhm.
worked out really well. One, because I love children, I love teaching, and I love seeing how people's eyes light up when they have that I got it moment. While
Wow.
I was teaching, I was able to, I had small children at that time,
Mhm.
and my two children, stayed with my parents while I was
Mhm.
working. And then my older child was at the school where I taught. And as they got older, that didn't really work out so well because I had three children going to three different schools.
Yes.
So it became quite a bit of a challenge. So then I went
Yes.
on to, I mentioned that I had my wellness center. I really started to focus in on yoga
Mhm.
and meditation. And that
Wow.
became my career for some time. I used to facilitate international yoga retreats in Bali and did
Oh.
yoga teacher trainings. And it was fantastic. But I knew that once my youngest child graduated, that I was going to career transition. Being a yoga teacher and doing international
Mhm.
retreats allowed me to really be available as a parent. But
Wow.
as my children moved into adulthood, I was like, okay, I know that I'm going to do something in tech. I don't know quite know what it is. So the pandemic happened,
Oh
and
yes.
the pandemic happened, and there was a good moment of reckoning, right? My
Hmm.
sister is platform owner, ServiceNow
Okay.
platform owner, and they were going through an implementation, and she was like, "Hey, I think this is the thing for you. It's called ServiceNow. They
Okay.
are doing, they're offering free training, and they will cover your certification, but you need to go through this course." So
Right.
at Tool, I just jumped in. I just jumped right in. I went into Now Learning. I started taking courses, micro
Hmm.
certifications, and just really got absorbed in the ServiceNow ecosystem. Then I
Okay.
started to
Wow.
look around the ecosystem to see, like, well, who are the people here and what are the players and what are they talking about? Because also during the pandemic, I learned how to use this camera, and I was wanted to see, like, was there even an appetite for, live streaming and video? And that's when I found like there was a huge appetite for it. I would
Right.
sit quietly watching live coding happy hour with Chuck and Lauren and
Hmm.
Earl, and now Pranav is part of the team. He wasn't part of the
Yes.
team then, and I was sitting, I would watch that. And I was like, oh wow, this is a lot of energy here. I love this community. And
Hmm.
then I wanted to figure out like how I'm going to land my first role. And so ServiceNow was offering the Next Gen program. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, well, let me see if I can. And I wasn't part of the Next Gen program, but I found a syllabus online of what the coursework would look like, right?
Okay.
So I said, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll take that syllabus and I'll map my learning to that. I can go in and take the courses and a self paced learning. So I would wake up like early in the morning. I would study from 3 a.m. to
Oh
5 a.m.
my
every
goodness.
morning, Monday through Friday, before my children were awake and before, the
Yes.
busyness of the day. And so I just studied like that every day, every day, every day. And then I said, okay, now the only thing in this syllabus that I can't replicate is interviewing with potential employers.
True.
So I was on LinkedIn. I started, dusted off my LinkedIn profile and I started going on LinkedIn. And then I found this guy, this community within LinkedIn, and there was a cyber security community. And
Hmm.
someone in that cyber security community created something called like 100 days of cyber or something like that. And
Oh.
it was so exciting. Like all these people would be excited about this. And I was like, oh wow,
Right.
this is so cool. I wish there was something like this in the ServiceNow community. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can
So you
do
got the
that.
idea. Oh
I got the
goodness.
idea. So I
Oh.
said, if I bet you, if I did 100 days of ServiceNow episodes, I bet you within 100 episodes, I can land a job. So the
Oh.
intention originally was do 100 consecutive days
Hmm.
and use that as a way to display my learning, to show a
Learning,
bit of
right.
my personality, to show people like Mike Lombardo, people at ServiceNow, that
Yes.
they can see me in the environment of their business,
True.
right?
True.
Because I was looking at ServiceNow and I was looking at GlideFast because I'm like, they're
Hmm.
at the top of the mountain, right? I love the way
Right.
they were very video forward. So let me aspire to that. And then maybe something else will come up. I didn't expect to get their attention. And so that's how that
Oh.
whole thing got started.
Wow, 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 wow. Nice, nice, nice. So
Yeah.
few things which I learned from your part is that be a silent listener sometime. That is important for you, like you did in the live code happy hour. Second, the transitioning you done. Let me come on the camera as well. The way you transitioning you're done is important. Like I'm just still thinking from an economics background, going to yoga, coming to IT is a deadly combination. That for me, if I say economic means you're doing some kind of first ads and all the things will be there. But then you say, oh, I'm doing the yoga as well. And that is not only at your country level, you're going on the international level as well. So you are trained and you go training as well on that particular part. And then you come into IT industry. Really, really inspiring on that. But that, okay, tell me how things going in your family now because you have one you and three more techies are there. So how you talk in the day-to-day life? Hey, mom, I'll take one glide recorder. I'll take one more client script here. it's it's interesting that all the techies are in a one place. Good to know. And also you say that 100 days of service, now you pick up that part and the idea you got it from the cyber security. So again, there's no relationship between these two, but still you got an idea and you pick up this part. Nice. Even though I thought that 100 days means are you going to contribute 100 days? My god, how you bring 100 people? Okay, I'll put one question for you.
Yeah.
To who you think that should be come on your podcast on the 100th episode? Anybody mind
Ooh,
name in your mind because still
yes.
it's going on.
Yes, I absolutely have somebody in mind that I want to.
Oh my God. Is
Yeah.
not is nomination still open? I want to be nominated myself.
Listen, I would love to have you, by the way. So you definitely need to come on
Okay.
to the podcast. Um, yes, I want to interview ServiceNow CEO and Chairman of the Board, Bill McDermott, for
Wow.
that 100th episode. Absolutely, hands down, he is the one that I want on that 100th episode.
Good luck. Good luck for that.
Yes.
Definitely. Things definitely will place on time, but definitely it's a journey you have to be continue. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to be know that how you feel that when you transition from economics to yoga, is yoga actually help you to shape your thoughts, shape your mind as well, or it's just like okay, I need some earnings, so I need to be go to the yoga now.
Yeah. That's a really great question. Yoga has been a part of my life since childhood. My mother introduced it to me as a small child. She, to this day, is still a voracious reader. And I was playing in her closet one day as a small child, and in every closet in our home, she had at the top shelf of the closet, it was just stacked from the clothing area all the way to the ceiling of books, just rows and
Okay.
rows of books in every single closet in our home. And one day I was playing in her closet and a book fell from the shelf and I picked it up, and I was an early reader. I was a small child. I picked it up, I turned it over, and I saw this four-letter word in big black letters, and it said yo, and I
God.
didn't know it. And I thought it was like, it's not yogurt, so it's yoga.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
opened the book up. Now, mind you, this is a long time ago before it became popular in the
Yes.
West, in the US.
True.
And I opened it up and I saw all of these postures and movements. And so I have a body
Right.
of a young child at that time. So I was like, oh, I can do this. And I was super active as a child. So I really
Right.
got really into it. I just was like, it was a lot of fun for me. But then as I matured and I grew up, and then when I started doing it as a way to help with anxiety, right? And
Right.
then eventually, when I went on to study Eastern medicine, part of what was required of us is that we would take some what they call chi cultivation classes, and that could
Okay.
either be tai chi, qigong, or yoga. And since I had already been
Oh,
introduced to it
yoga,
as a
right.
child, I would naturally just gravitated to doing yoga. And then eventually, when I opened up my wellness center and I was looking for a building to open my practice, the back of the building had a small studio. I'm like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is
Right.
absolutely perfect." And so to this day, I still do a little bit of yoga. I had an online digital studio for a while. Um,
Oh.
it serves me very well because it's not just the movement of the body, but it's also a way to personal freedom, right? It's a way to free your mind. It's a way to regulate your temperament, to regulate your breath work. So I highly recommend it. I just it's yes, I love my yoga
Wow.
practice.
No, that's actually true that yoga give you the power to your mind and body as well to keep you very calm in each and every day. And you know that the environment we guys are living now, it's not the same like our parents live, that it was very peaceful, and now everybody has attention. I'm sure that you're sitting here but still you have some thoughts in your mind. No, I need to be go to sleep, my kids are be getting wake up little early now, and all the things will be there. But definitely yoga is the one part which help you to in that particular part. And I think that you are very much right in your direction, because yoga is the only way which keep you very happy in your day-to-day life as well. If you are stress, do for meditation half an hour, 45 minutes, then you feel very
Yeah.
relaxed on that particular part. Definitely I'll come.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, even there was a time, when I had the wellness center, because you know that I've had so many different phases of my life, and they seem to be quite different, but there is definitely a thread that weaves them all together, because I'm always finding something that's of deep service to community and my family. And
Right.
when I had the wellness center and I was graduating with my master's degree, and I had taken some time off, and then I'd gone back to get my master's degree to complete my degree. And as I was completing my degree, My mother had gotten diagnosed with late stage ovarian cancer, and
Oh,
she was given 6 months to live.
oh.
And my mother was like, and is my rock. And she's so active, so beautiful. Like, she was like the most active parent of like all my friends' parents. Like, she was always
Mhm.
like doing something creative. Our
Right,
house was always the house where everyone gravitated to. And I just could
right.
not imagine that my mother would be gone in 6 months. And so I
Mhm.
really felt that it was in divine order that I was in school studying Eastern medicine.
Mhm.
And at that time, when we got the diagnosis, I got all of her medical records from her doctors, and I took all of that information to my instructors.
Mhm.
And I said, this is because we had to do case studies and
Right.
rounds. And so I
True.
took all the information. We all had to like present various cases. My case just happened to be my mother.
Mhm.
And because I had access to all of these incredible minds,
Mhm.
we were able to put together, a formula for her. And then I got one thing led to another. We got referred to this really exclusive Chinese medical doctor. And we went and he asked me a few questions, and he said to me, and he could speak better. I probably could speak better Chinese than he could speak English, but he said to
Right.
me, he says, "Why are you here?" And I didn't know how to take that at the time.
Ah.
And he says to me, he says, "You know this. I need you to take care of your mother." So he said, "I
Correct.
want you to write some things out, what your treatment plan would be." And I handed
Mhm.
it to him. He looked at it. He said, "This is really good. I would change this and do this, but otherwise, this is solid." He says, "I want you to take over her treatment." So
Wow.
that was about 23 years ago now. So my mom
Mm.
has been cancer free for over 23 years now. And I know that that was a
Perfect.
time in my life where I was in that place studying that in that time
Mm.
for her life. So I know that there's always something about service in the work that I do, whether it's teaching,
Yes.
yoga, traditional Chinese medicine, Eastern medicine, and now in service now.
Wow, means it's simply, I can say, it's a dedication, prayer, blessings, efforts, everything you put together, and then you will make sure that your mother free from the cancer. It's really see. So these are the kind of a use cases which I'll say it's not the word use case is not the word. These are the live examples actually which
Yeah.
prove that yes, these things has a power. Yoga has a power. Definitely medicine also work on that part, but yoga also done a very good power or the medicine on that particular part on that particular. Really, it's really happy to see this use case. Okay, now let's little bit come to your technical part as well. Okay, but I'm surprised to know that economics, doctor, yoga, and service now still I'm looking out for the line in between that can make these all connections. And someone very well said that it's all the destiny. If that book did not fall near to you, you never open that book, and you are not be maybe you'll not be here today as well. Like if I can say practical on this part, maybe your mom is not be here, but
Yeah.
with your that book make a magic, which is yogurt or yoga, and you done you done that part.
Well,
Nice,
it's
nice.
all, the connecting thread is all about service, because even when I was a teacher,
Yes.
because I don't do anything just a little bit, right? So when
Hmm.
I was a school teacher, like, I was like super competitive. I was like, okay, kids, I would be like, okay, you're going to win the spelling bee. You two are going to
Hmm.
win the group science fair. You guys are
Right.
going to win the Black History Month thing. You guys are going to win the performance. You guys are going to win the talent show. Like, I had like a plan. Like, there was going to be literally
Yes.
my student was going to be the top tier class. And like, when it comes to like being competitive, when
Hmm.
there's other people involved that their well-being is at stake, then I get super competitive. And I kid you not, Atul, we won the science fair, the spelling bee, the
Hmm.
talent show. We won every single thing. And
Wow.
one year we got the highest score in the entire state of California, and I was teacher of the year. And it was because I
Wow.
knew that those children were like, they were putty in my hands, and I wanted to do right by them. So even when I went to school, graduated top of my class, because I just wanted to do the best. Like I want to do the best for my children. I want to do the best for my ancestors, my parents, and even now in ServiceNow, when it comes to customers, I want to do the best by them. You talk
Right,
about
right,
use
right.
cases, same thing here. Use cases here in ServiceNow. Customers come to us with a lot of pain. They've been doing things
Right,
a certain way and they want to see exceptional outcomes for their business. So how can we use ServiceNow in order to get them there, right? They don't come to me
right.
because they want to use ServiceNow. They come to me because they're looking for business outcomes. ServiceNow is just the way that we get them there.
True, true on that part. Fantastic. It's really really inspiring journey. I can say I'm still thinking in my mind, digesting these things that economics, yoga, medicine, and service has come together. Okay, let's take a few seconds break here, and now I'll put little bit game with you. Okay,
Okay.
so what you have to be do? I'm going to put a alphabet in front of you, and you have to give me an answer in the service now term. It can be technical, it can be non-technical as well, but
Okay.
you cannot take service now release name, otherwise you will always win. Okay, that's the point.
Mm, that's a good idea. Okay, but go ahead. I never thought
Oh,
of doing it that way, but go
okay,
ahead.
okay. Anything which start with S.
S.
Yes.
Um, so obviously sales,
Okay.
service now.
Okay. Okay. Anything with Z.
um, Z boot.
Oh my god, it's a technical. Okay. Anything with D.
D. Default.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, default. Okay, nice. And last one I'll take anything with
Or
the A.
Delta. Delta. I like
Ah,
Delta better. Go
Delta.
ahead.
Right. Okay. With A.
A.
Yes.
Um, A. B, b, uh,
Account executive.
oh, I get account executive, of course.
Okay. Good. So now I put the next question to you, that I saw that you are very much famous now in the community, and you are MVP as well, right? For 2024.
Yes, this is my first year as a
Yes.
ServiceNow MVP, most valuable professional. I'm so
Correct.
grateful to be here in such a great company in this community.
Right. Okay. So how you feel when you receive a email? Maybe for me it's was early morning, but for you it's like on almost end of the day. That welcome in MVP 2024 cohort. We are happy to have you in that. How was your feeling that time?
It's so funny that you say that because when you apply, you think, okay, I'm just going to do my best and then
Mhm.
leave it to God what will happen. But let me tell you, when I got that email saying that congratulations, listen, well, I saw congratulations and that was it. I was running around here just singing and because I did not know that I
Mhm.
would land here, right? I knew that I was on a mission, but to get this accolade from ServiceNow and to be among people like you, Rob Fedoric, Carlene
Right.
Carter, Sarah Tolson, like that's a huge honor, and I'm looking forward to
True.
like meeting as many MVPs as I can when we go to Knowledge this year.
Wow, nice. So I'm still on the same part. Okay, you read the word constellations, you see, yes, I mean, but how was the feeling from inside that yes, you achieved something, or you say, okay, that's the one step. I need to be go a little bit more on the top of that.
I absolutely listen. I'm just beginning because the feeling that I have is like, yes, I feel excited, I feel happy, but I
Mhm.
still feel like there's so much more that I want to do. There's so many
True.
more things. There's more that I want to prove simply for my family. So there are a lot of times people think, oh, well, you're easy to, you're an outgoing personality. You do video and all of that. And I
Mhm.
don't necessarily think that I'm an outgoing personality, but what I
Yep.
do think is that I have a lot of passion for this, right? And I
Okay.
also know that there was a while ago when I was volunteering at my children's school,
Mhm.
another book that was on the shelf, and the name of the book was called Cradles of Eminence.
Oh, okay.
And this book was about, it took all of these people from all over the world over different periods of history, all of
Mhm.
these famous people, right, that had impact. and it looked at what is the common thread in all of these people. And one of the common threads that all of these people had in common was that they
Mhm.
had an ambitious mother. And I was
True.
like, and it made these people, it informed these people's greatness.
Mhm.
And so I was like,
True.
okay. So on the one hand, I think about my ancestors on my right side who have gone through so many trials and tribulations, right?
True.
And then on my left side, I have my children who I want to inspire and make sure that I'm providing and providing an example for them to achieve their goals, right? So I feel like I'm armed with my ancestors on my right side, my children on the left.
That's
So
right.
that is what propels me forward. That makes it less important whether I'm afraid to turn on the camera, to be outgoing. Um, so 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 when you say how did it make you feel, it makes me feel
Mhm.
like I'm on the right path and I need to keep going.
Right, right.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Definitely, again, destiny is there. That book fall down, or you have seen that book on the shelf, and things will be happening. But again, a strong believer by the words you are putting it, I can say that you are a very strong believer in the community, in the faith, in your ancestors, and your God as well. That He is the right one who is guiding me and pushing me to the next level. Good. Okay. Now this has been done. Second part, if you did not become MVP, how you feel?
Ooh, if I did not become MVP, I would still feel like I have to keep going. Because that's one of the things that you learn on a spiritual path is that, this too shall pass, whether you get the
Yes.
MVP or whether you don't get the MVP, you still have to keep going. Would I have been disappointed? Yeah, I would have been disappointed, right? Um, I probably would have been embarrassed a little bit, to be quite honest with you, but
Hmm.
that's just some ego, right? But I would
Right.
still feel like I would have to keep going, perhaps even more so if I didn't get it.
Yes. Maybe not today,
Yeah.
but tomorrow definitely I will be MVP for sure.
Yeah. I'd
Nice.
be sad for a little while, but then I'd be like, okay, let me dust myself off. We got to get back on that horse and keep going.
Yes, true. No, very, very true on that. Because if you set back, then you are gone. But if you come back, definitely you come with the more power, more thoughts, and that's the thing. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as you earned, I'll say especially I'll use the word earn here because we did not get it. We earned this MVP badge now. Okay. How your company is feeling about that? Because I saw one of the posts where GlideFast put everybody name, but your name was not there, and you say someone is missing, and I said why she was missing here. So how you feel that, how your company feel that about that thing?
Well, that was absolutely a mistake on the part of
Oh,
GlideFast.
I thought it was like to be give you special picture, special premium. Okay, now we have a Kelly who's the MVP for us. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Once once they realized it, they removed it, and then because it wasn't just me, it was a couple other people as well that were
Yes.
left off. So once they
Oh
realized once they caught the mistake, they updated the picture, and I think it's still on there now with the update.
yes.
However,
Hmm.
they listen, one of the things about being at GlideFast under the leadership of our CEO, Michael Lombardo, is that he's really big about supporting and pushing us to attain even to attain various goals within our careers, not just
True.
for ourselves, but also for the company, and also because it inspires the entire team. And so we
True.
have something special that's going to be coming up for the MVPs and Rising Stars within GlideFast really soon.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's really really good. That's really good. And I saw that from your company, it's I guess 6 to 7 people who are the rising star, the MVP as well. If I
Yes, that's
see the
right.
post right yet. Okay,
Hmm.
good to know. Good to know. Okay, you ended last year knowledge as well, right?
I
2023.
Yeah, I went to knowledge last year. That was my very first knowledge, and it was
Okay,
absolutely electrifying.
I'm coming to that part. Just hold your horses. I'm coming to that part.
Listen,
So
and let me
how?
tell you, we must do a selfie this May at Knowledge. Like you cannot leave Vegas without us getting a picture together.
Okay, for sure. If definitely if everything goes well with the God grace, I will be there, and definitely this time we'll take a selfie there as well.
That's
Okay.
right.
So how you feel when you got a first confirmation from your company? Yes, Kelly, we are approving your name for the knowledge. How was the feeling that time?
This is that was even more surreal to be like
Hmm.
this past like I just celebrated a year of employment January 31st, so a year and 2 months now. And this whole past year and a half has been quite surreal. And that's somewhat an overused word, but it has been. Like, I literally said, I'm going to do this. I focused my mind to do it. I felt like
Mhm.
all the things that I had been through led me to where I am right now. And the way that I was able to go to knowledge was that I was selected to present a present at knowledge last year. And so
Oh,
that
nice.
so I'm like, it's like, let me pinch myself. I can't believe all this is happening, right? I got into this ecosystem, and I, was able to raise
Right.
my visibility because of 100 days of service now, because of using live video. And
Mhm.
I presented with Rob for the Duke Fedoric, who's
Right.
one of my mentors, one of my primary mentors. So it was a
Nice.
super surreal moment. Rob had been, very supportive of helping me in my journey. And we decided that we would present together. That was our very first time meeting in person. And it was like we were old friends. And so it was incredibly surreal. It was
Mm.
somewhat of an outer body experience because I'm like, I'm at knowledge, and people know who I am because of 100 days of
Yes.
service now, and now I'm going to be presenting a session. So it was wild, man. It was wild, Atul.
So in this case, I can say you are still short of the words to express your feeling. Maybe if I say, if I give you another half an hour, you say a lot of things and possibly you cry as well, because this is a feeling that you achieve, which you earn, and you got a big platform to present yourself. And that is only thing. So people don't know Kelly, but people know 100 days of service now. That is the fact that which bring you at this particular place now. Good. So one more question which I forgot in the beginning as well. How you're feeling now from a host to a guest? Because generally you put a question and people answer, and now someone is putting the question. You are a guest here. So how you're feeling now?
You know what? It feels pretty good. And let me tell you why, because I know that it takes a
Mhm.
lot of work to put these on, right? Um,
Right.
listen, it takes a lot of work. So it feels kind of good to have to not worry about that.
Mhm.
All I have to do is turn on the lights, my camera, put on a nice little blouse, turn on the microphone. So it feels really good. This is this. I've only been a guest
Right.
a couple times. And this is actually my third time. Was a guest on a
Mhm.
couple other things, and now this. So now, it feels really good. So I want to thank you again so much for having me here.
Mm.
I'm
Thank
humbled
you.
by it, really.
No problem, no problem. Because sometimes when you are a host, you cannot say a lot of things. But when you're a guest, you can say a lot of things. Nobody's going to be stop you. Okay, it's your stage. You can go and do that part. Okay.
Yes.
Now coming back to knowledge again. So how you prepare your session for the knowledge? You're a little
Mm.
tense because now it's not like a recorded a podcast. It's a live where hundred of people are watching you and listening each and every word of you. How you're feeling that part and how you prepare yourself, because I'm sure that a lot of people who already get a confirmation for this year as well, they are preparing for their session. So, any tips for them on that particular part?
That is a really great question. Now, my session I did with someone else. I did it with Rob Fedoric. And
Hmm.
because Rob and I had not met in person before, it was really important that we had synergy. And it
Right.
wasn't quite sure how that was going to happen if we'd not been in person. Though we seem to have synergy and chemistry when we would
Hmm.
do a live stream, but I wasn't so sure how that would go. So, what I would say, if you have a session, whether you're doing it by yourself or if you're doing it
Hmm.
with someone else, is to be very clear about, have a very sharp beginning and a very sharp ending, and have
Yes.
like very clear, a handful of points that you have memorized, and be
Right.
able to speak extemporaneously about those points. But again, you must have a very sharp and captivating beginning and a very clear and concise ending, with ideally a call to action.
Hmm. Nice, nice.
Having
So,
that call to action is imperative.
okay. So what was the lesson learned you done in that last knowledge? Like about, if I'm not sure that it is be for this year also you're going for the presenter or not, but what was the lesson you learned from the previous discussion? If you want to be guide to someone else that okay, I did these mistakes, please take care of these points as well to make sure you done a good job in this session.
You know what? Here's something that I learned. I thought our session went pretty well, The
Hmm.
only thing that was off is that they were recording, their sessions were recorded.
Right.
I did not pay attention to standing within the recording, the film zone. I was like over here, and I was like, when I looked at it, I was like, oh man, I was standing in the wrong spot. So, for those of you who are going to be presenting that knowledge, be sure that you understand where to stand and where the camera is with respect to where you're standing.
Right.
So keep that in mind.
That's a beautiful learning. Even though it's not a technical part, but definitely it's a presentable format. Otherwise, you will regret for the whole life. Hey, I presented the session, but I'm not in the video now. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I told
No.
Rob, I said, Rob, I was standing in the wrong part. He was like, well, we can do it again.
But it's a lifetime opportunity. Once it's done, it's done. It's recorded now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now let's come to the personal side of Kelly now. So you say that you done economics and yoga and all the things you do. How your life is nowadays means what you do on the weekends with your family, like three techies and one you, ambitious mother who is techie. So how you guys spend your day on the weekend specifically?
Well, my children, I only have one that still lives at home with me, and they're all my children are young adults now, so they have their own lives and their own friends. And
Right.
I was, it's so funny that you asked this. What I like to do is to go out to like lunch or dinner at least every other week with my children, right?
Nice.
And so Sunday is our day to go out, and I called
Mhm.
my older son up and I said, "Hey, new restaurant. I want to, would love for you to go." He says, "Oh no, I'm not going to be available because." I said, "Oh, you're not going to be available?" He says, "No, I'm not going to be available for 2 months."
Mhm.
And I was like, "2 months?" I
Oh,
was like, "Why?"
come on.
He says, "Well, I'm building a game and I have to stay
Mhm.
really focused." And I said, "You're not going to be able to go for 2 months?" He says, "Nope." I said, "Okay." So this is the life of having young adult
Right,
children,
right.
they have
True.
their own thing. With that
Right.
said, I spend a lot of
Mhm.
my time, my favorite thing to do is to ride my bike. So I either will ride my bike,
Yes.
I'll go for a nice run. Um, I like to jump rope. I'm a very active person, right? So
Nice.
I'm hiking, but I love, love, love riding my bike. So on the weekends, it's
Mhm.
always something around me riding my bike. And then I always add something that I want to study, I want to learn more about.
Okay. Nice. So because you just put up this point, even though I have this point in my discussion as well that I saw one of your posts that you run, you go on a bike as well. So what was that occasion? That it was fundraising or
Yeah.
something like your personal stuff only?
Yeah, so it was the bra run, and the bra run
Mhm.
is a breast cancer awareness run that happens every year, and it's a run, or you can run and ride your bike, or you can just ride your bike. And since
Okay.
just love riding my bike, and
Bike.
it helps to raise money for breast reconstruction surgery for women
Right.
or men who've had breast cancer and don't have the funds for reconstruction surgery. So I love to participate in events like this. Breast cancer is very impactful in the lives of women,
Right.
especially Black women, where it can be particularly insidious. And among Black women, the mortality rate is particularly higher. So, and I've have a family history of breast cancer, so it's a very important cause for me.
Hmm. Good. So
Yeah,
generally you spend your weekends to ride your bike only, right? And do for this again, go back to the community side.
yeah.
Okay. Any special hobby you have other than this? Because it's not a good weather, it's snowing outside, you can't go. But so what to do at home? Because
Well, this is
you can't ride a bike at the home. Definitely, you're not a kid, so you can't ride the small cycles.
I have. What are you talking about? Too? I have a tricycle, and I just ride it around in a circle behind me. Well, here's the thing. I'm in Los Angeles, so there is
Mhm.
no snow here at all. And
Oh,
I'm pretty much able to ride my bike most days of the year. So it rained a little bit yesterday, didn't
mhm.
rain today. If it doesn't rain tomorrow morning, I may ride my bike. But here's the
Oh,
thing. You can't see it, it's off camera, but I have an indoor rower.
oh my God. So you arrange everything for your purpose at home only, if not outside, at least indoor. I'll get something on
That's
that way.
right. No excuses. No excuses. If
Oh
I
my
can't ride my bike, I have a rower. I have a
God.
water
Oh my.
rower. It's like right
Oh.
off camera. Between client calls, I roll it out and I row for a couple minutes. Because here's the thing. you know what I learned is that my mind is
Mhm.
at its best when my body is also at its best, right? So if
Correct.
I'm active, if I'm eating right, if
True.
I'm I can show up better in every aspect of my life if I'm taking care of my body, if I'm eating right, if I'm sleeping well, so it's just comes together for me.
No, 100% on that part, that your mind and your body should be in the sync and should be up to, means in a healthy condition, so that you can do your work properly. Okay,
Totally.
now let's come to the work again. Okay, let me come on the camera. Yes. Okay. So you work as an account executive at the GlideFast. Okay, definitely you go and talk to the customers as well, understand their pain as well. Any bad experience when someone says no, I don't want to work with you. Not with the company. I'm saying want work with you, Kelly. It's too much. You are dominating. You're not understanding our problem. Any bad experience you have, and how you come overcome with that particular problem.
That's a really great question because when you're in customer meetings, what brings a customer to ServiceNow
Hmm.
can often involve a lot of pain. It can
True.
involve a lot of frustration with the current tool that's not serving them well. And
True.
so it's making sure that you're engaging with customers in a way that's sensitive to the pain that they're in. And when I can take myself out of it, the
Hmm.
easier those conversations become, right? Because the key is to do far more listening than talking. And
True.
typically when customers are in pain, they got a lot to say, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so when that's the case, it becomes a little bit easier because now I'm making sure that I'm listening to what they're saying and then
Hmm.
also somewhat mirroring back that I understand what they're saying,
True.
right? Because someone can say, "Oh, we're having a problem with our human resources service delivery."
Hmm.
Now, I can quickly go to, oh, well, I know I'm going to tell them about this. I'm going to tell them about
Great.
the employee experience. I'm going to tell them about machine learning. And I'm going to do this, that, and the other. I'm going to just like tell them all the features of what, ServiceNow
That's right.
HRSD can deliver, right? If I do that, I'm going to lose them because they don't care
Definitely
anything
yes.
about those features. The features are great, don't get me wrong. The machine learning within HRSD, fantastic. But the
Right.
customer does not care about that. They want to know, how are you going to help solve the issues around human resources service delivery they're currently facing? And
True.
if I can align those things with the solution that ServiceNow is able to provide, then we're able to have a really great conversation. But if I'm
True.
focused so much on pushing this solution without aligning it to their problem, then that's going to make them upset, and that's going to make them tune out.
No, I agree on that part, and definitely when you are on the customer front, instead of going with the technical jargons, technical terms, let's understand their pain in their language. Okay, I'll put one more question because sometime it happens with me. You're an account executive, but I'm working as a process consultant. Sometimes customers say, "Hey, I have this problem." Do you actually feel sometime from your heart as well, hey my god, how they're living their, how they'll be doing their business, because they have a lot of problems? Is it the right thing, I can put everything, or you just go in the step by step manners kind of things?
Say that one more time.
Okay, so the thing is that I'm your customer and I'm giving you something as a problem statement. Do you feel from inside as well, from your heart, oh my god, they have a lot of problem? Means, have you considered their problem as a personal problem as well, or just keep it as a professional problems only?
If I understand your question
Mhm.
correctly, my aim is to make customers feel like they can tell me anything, whether it's related
Right.
to their business or even with their personal life. And if I put up a wall of judgment, like how can
Mhm.
they be operating a business of this size with these inefficient operations, with these inefficient processes? If I exude that if I even think that, that's going to
Mhm.
immediately turn the customer off, right? So
True.
my job is to help them solve their problems, right? And the
Right.
more that I put up a wall of judgment, the less that customer is going to feel comfortable conveying what is really at the root of their problem. Now,
True.
with that said, they'll start, and once we start to have those conversations, we'll start to discover some things they probably didn't realize was there. And that's when I
Mm,
know that those conversations are the most
yes.
successful. When they say, "Oh, I didn't consider that." That's when I'm like, "Okay, now
That's
we're
one.
getting somewhere," you know?
Yes. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay. And when you get frustrated with these all discussions with the customer, not understanding everything, you do yoga at that point of time. You come back home and then you do yoga, or
You
maybe in your discussion you say, okay, take a breath in, breathe out, take a deep breath in, breathe out, because sometimes you have to be use your fundamentals as well to keep the environment very
yes.
very clear. So how you handle these things?
The problem or the challenge that I face with a customer today benefits from the yoga that I did yesterday, not the yoga that I do right now, right? You
Okay.
know, because
Yes.
you like when you're frustrated in the moment, it's hard to reach for
Yes.
the yoga.
True.
But if you've had a consistent practice over the past amount of
Yes.
years, you can more easily tap into it, you know? So that's why
True.
it's so important to have some type of a practice, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation, whether
Yes.
it's breath work, whether it's riding a bike, whether it's because
Mhm.
even when you ride a bike or run, you can get into
Yes.
that frame of mind
True.
that you
True.
dial into, right? It could be gardening. It is so many different things that it can
And
be, but
anything,
it has to
anything,
be
yes. Which
something.
right, which keep you busy, which keep you away from all your tensions, all your problems. Do that part,
Yeah,
and then you will feel very relaxed on that particular part. Okay.
100%.
Now let's come back to the rapid fire again. Okay. Anything we start with E.
E,
Yes.
I could say executive, but I want to say something more interesting. Um, E, don't tell me, don't tell me.
No,
I'm
no,
just
I'm
gonna,
not telling.
I'm gonna.
I'm not telling you.
Okay, okay.
The-
You're about to say something?
no, no, no. I'm see. I put the finger
Oh,
on my
okay,
lips.
okay,
You have to
okay,
do too.
okay. You said the letter E. Well,
Yes.
executive. I'm just gonna stick with executive.
Okay. Okay. Anything with the word, sorry, alphabet F.
F.
Yes.
Uh,
Maybe something which you use in your day to day as a professional, as a executive, not as a technical term. Something with a word you use with F. Finance.
I'm sure there is. I feel so put on the spot right now. Hold on.
Uh,
Wait, I'm gonna say fast, as in glide fast.
oh, nice, 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 nice. Good, good, good. Anything with the word Y.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. I'm not making the paper complicated. Hope so. It's still easy question.
You obviously have something in mind that I'm not able to think of. Why?
Yes.
You tell me. What do you think of that starts with a Y?
So mainly if I say year to year progress or year to year benefits, year to year achievements,
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
that's the thing.
okay.
Okay, good. Okay, now let's come to the last section of
Oh,
our discussion here.
why? Year-end goals. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, no, no. And why you forget the beautiful word? Yoga is a why. Start from the why only.
Yoga is a why. We've been talking about yoga. How could see? That's why I said I just
Right.
caught off guard.
No, no problem. And I can understand it's very late for very early morning for you. Okay.
It's
Now,
finally early morning. It's
yes.
finally Saturday.
Right, right. And I guess one of my friend also joined. He's on the same zone, EST zone, and he said, Atul, the benefit of or the excitement of joining live session is more than good than the going for the recording part. So he say, I'll get up at 2:30. I'll join this session. Okay. Now, few last questions. What are the top 5 questions you ask to your customers when you go for the first discussion, and why?
Oh man, you're trying to get to my secret sauce. Um, you
The-
really are
the-
trying to
the-
get to my secret sauce. I don't know if I want to tell you that right now, Atul. You're gonna have to ask me another question.
okay, let it reduce to the two, not five, top two.
Okay, well, the top two is that I want to know how we got here, right? I want to know, like, did you come to me because of a referral? Did you come to serve? Did you come to us because you heard about GlideFast? Did you come to me because you heard about me? Like, I want to know, like, how they got here. And once I ask one question, the floodgates open, right? The floodgates open because they just start talking about things.
Right. Okay, and have you presented demos, not demos, mainly the slides to the customer? So
Yes,
how you
definitely.
make sure that they listen to you? Because nowadays we all are so techy. Presentations going on the one side, and people are start chatting on the WhatsApp or the Teams. So how you make sure that these environments should be built up?
That's a really great question. So, when it comes to presenting slides or decks or PowerPoints, what I find is really important is that you're not overwhelming the customer talking about me, 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 me. We're so great. We're the best. And though we may feel like we're so great and we are the best, you really people don't really care sometimes, right? So
True.
it's striking that balance between learning enough about the customer and the issues that they're facing, and then also at the same time tailoring a a presentation that speaks to the issues that they're looking to resolve. So I do my best to learn up front what it is that they're facing, so that my presentation is tailored to those needs.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
That's super important. But and then when I do that, then it leaves room to talk about the accolades, right? Then they're more
Sure.
receptive to understanding what those accolades mean in context to solving their problems.
Right. Okay, one more question I'll put in the similar lines, because something this happened in the our consulting domain as well, and I can say that okay, I'm considering you more on the consulting part. Let's say in a single room, total five people are there. You have five different stakeholders. Two are agree for a solution, and three are not agree for a solution. Now how you will handle this thing? And definitely this is a practical scenario I'm sure you face a lot of time, that few are very favor, yes, we'll go ahead with this part. Someone say no, I'm not happy with this part. So how you handle
Yeah.
these conflicts?
Yeah. That is a really great scenario, and it happens more often than not.
Yes.
There's some people that have different priorities. There's competing interests. You got to get to the bottom of, like, well, why is it that they don't want the change? Because change can be very difficult and it can be quite painful. So if someone is
True.
not agreeing, and there's some people that are, you got to figure out why. And so it may take a few conversations to get to that. If I push too hard in those early conversations, you're going to end up losing everybody. So you have to
Right.
figure out, like, what it is. So learning, this is where that upfront research really pays off. Let me tell you why. If you find out, you learn who you got five stakeholders in a room. If you know who those people are, you can look at the email, doing some cursory
Yes.
research on those people, like how
True.
long they've been at the organization. What role are they
Yes.
in? How long have they been at that role? Where was their previous employer? How long were they there? What tools were
Right.
they using at that previous employer? Are they particularly dedicated to that particular tool? Do they feel that their job is at risk? Looking at their LinkedIn posts, really carefully looking at every
True.
single thing. Doing that type of homework beforehand is going to tell you a lot about the dynamics that are in the room. It could also be some dynamics that I may not have anything to do with. It could be that two stakeholders may not like each other for whatever reason.
Yes.
And this stakeholder may say no, just because this one said
Ego.
yes. So you got
Yes.
to
Correct.
figure out what is important to each of those stakeholders in the room. And then
Correct.
once you can get to what's important to those stakeholders, then you can start to speak to their needs and how this tool is going to help them better and more efficiently do the work at hand.
Yes, very true. And I would like to be link this discussion with a proper concept that is called the in the BA box. We have a concept called the know your stakeholder, and it is important you know that to whom you are going to be talking and to whom you're going to work upon that part. If you don't know your stakeholders, definitely you already lose that match 50%. If you know the stakeholders, you won 75% of the match as well. That is very much important, very valid point here. And also, if you see, a trend has been changed now. Earlier, when we go for some interview, we just give our resume or the CV to the person and he see and ask. Now, both the parties, either the interviewer or the interview, they both visit each other profile, LinkedIn profile specifically, understand that what this person doing, how it's coming and coming that part. This is very much important. No,
Yeah,
it's very, very,
100%.
yep, sorry, go ahead, please.
No, I was just agreeing 100%. I agree with what you're saying. Knowing your stakeholder is
Is
super crucial. I mean,
right.
and here's the thing. When you have, say, five stakeholders and you're in those initial conversations, it could very well be that I may know somebody who can give me a little
True.
bit more information, who can tell me a little bit more about
Information,
those
right.
dynamics. So, being able to ask the right questions, if you have a champion that is within those stakeholders, being able to have those conversations, say, "Hey, tell me a little bit about the dynamics here. I'm sensing this, that, and the other." And here's the other thing: when you have a stakeholder in the room who neither says yay or
Yes or no?
nay, the person who doesn't say anything, that's the one that you really have to pay attention to, right? Because
Right.
there's something that's going on there. So you got to be sure that no matter what, that you're addressing the needs of
True.
those stakeholders. That's super, super important.
Perfectly fine. The natural guys are more risky than the guys who are taking a lot of shouts or not speaking any or
That's
speaking very
right.
less.
That's
True.
right. Because listen,
Okay.
because even the stakeholder that may be pushing back, the person that's outwardly pushing back may not
True.
necessarily be someone who is against the tool. They just want to
Agree.
make sure that this is the right tool and that I am the right person and that GlideFast is the right company to implement that solution. The
Perfectly fine.
pushback, I welcome the pushback. We want that little bit of attention. We want that
Yes.
resistance. Because if they just say, yeah, that's nice, yeah, that's nice, they're not telling me the truth. There's something there that they're not telling me. If they're just saying, yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yep, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
pushback.
And
I want the pushback.
right, I agree on that. But and also, if I'm not wrong, there's a concept I read in the BA book which says that we have a nine type of stakeholders, and they are divided in the animal category. Like we have a hippos, we have a rabbit, we have a cat, we have a dog, we have a lion as well. So every stakeholder has its own mindset. Don't know if you want to do it like the way I'm saying. Otherwise, don't do it for me. So definitely, it's important for everybody to understand the stakeholder. Okay, now we are almost at the end of the session. It's already, I can say, yep, 27 is
Wow,
done.
that was so fast.
So fast, exactly, so fast. And it's 3:30, going to be 3:30 for you. It's so fast. Okay, last question. Any tip, trick, consulting, advice, maybe good, maybe bad, from the economics, from the yoga, from the medicine, from the glide fast, from the account executive perspective, you want to give to my viewers, to me as well, not to my viewers, even I'm in the learning stage. So any advice on that particular part?
Yeah, I think that communication is super important. Knowing how to communicate to various personas, whether it's your colleague, whether it's a stakeholder, whether it's if you're in the technical side, being able to communicate is super important. And I think it's
True.
something that we take for granted because we think, oh, well, I know how to talk. Well, be knowing how to talk and knowing how to communicate are two completely different things, right?
True.
And having effective communication and actually practicing communicating, listening to
True.
yourself, recording yourself, listening to the little nuances of what you do that may be off
True.
putting. That is super important and that can make or break your career and relationships.
True on that part. 100% true on that part, and agree as well
And
that
the
this
Mhm.
good.
Well, I was
Keep.
just going to add the second thing is I would say to always to keep studying, keep learning.
Yes.
You
That's
must keep learning. You must, like, I call it sharpening your axe, right? So when you ask
right.
me like what do I do on the weekend, I say, oh, I'll ride my bike, but I'm also going to be learning something too. Like, you got to keep
True.
sharpening your axe. That is
True.
important because the way that service, listen, it was May of 2023 on the ServiceNow event floor at Knowledge 23. Bill McDermott was sitting next to Jansen Wong. They were talking
Right.
about the partnership between ServiceNow and NVIDIA. They were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Fast forward less than a year, Bill McDermott
They
was
have
in
done
an
it.
interview talking about that ServiceNow is all in on generative AI. That's less than a year.
True,
Generative
correct.
AI in less than a year has been top of mind, tip of tongue so much that even Chief Innovation Officer Dave Wright of ServiceNow said, like, 2023 was a year that I'm paraphrasing, generative AI was sort of like a novelty, but 2024 is the year that we must put generative AI to work. So
Very
if
nice.
you are someone who is like, oh, I don't know about generative AI, are resistant in some way, or not
Hmm.
sharpening your tool set to
You
be
said
able
right.
to use generative AI and speak competently
Yes,
about generative AI, in less than a year, you're already left in the past. So you got to keep
exactly.
sharpening your axe.
No, that's true. That's very much true. If you want to continue in the market, you have to be build your career. Sorry, build your skill set again and again from time to time.
Yeah.
Nice. Just last question before I put, because I saw you a lot of podcast as well, and I always notice that you keep your pen and your notebook ready with you. So do you have how many sticky notes you have in your room now? Because definitely you make notes and you put in something here. Even though I was still thinking from the last 1 hour, why Kelly is keeping up this notebook and notepad and pen. Oh my goodness. So okay, that's that. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Yes, I
Nice.
am big on taking notes because you'll say something to me, and when you ask me a
Hmm.
question, I want to make sure that I'm answering it, so I might take a quick note on it, or
Oh,
when I'm talking to somebody, I want to write that down before I forget it, so I can circle back. But I'm a voracious note taker. Like, you don't even see, like, I don't even want to show you. Like, I have like notebooks and all kinds of, like, I'm constant. Like, I'll take pieces of paper that are already like printed on, right? So there's something that's
right,
already on this side, and I just fold them over and take notes on them. Like, I have lots of
right.
these papers all over the place. Like, I just, you caught me. What can I say?
No. That's true. So any paper you get, you start making notes and put under your laptop. Okay, this is my notes. This is my notes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm thinking from last 1 hour, I don't have any scripted interview, but still she's carrying a pen and notepad. Or not sure what she's going to be do with this particular stuff. Good to know. Okay, so now we are at the end of the session. Okay, before I formally close this session, I would definitely go with my tradition. Let's take 10-20 second pause. Thank to the God who give us the power, strength, words, thoughts, motivation, speaking knowledge, everything, that we are able to communicate the things with the community, and then we'll formally close the session as well.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so, thanks, Kelly. It's time to be close the session. Before I close, I want to say once again, thank you so much for giving me opportunity to interact with you. I'm happy to have you as a guest, and will definitely continue to listen to you as a host as well. Wish you a very happy Women's Day and very happy Mother's Day as well. Hope you all your family, your son, and you go together and enjoy the day with your family on that particular part. And to my viewers, definitely it's time to be closed now. I'm coming back again on the next week. Definitely it's a surprising one, so keep the eyes on the YouTube channel as well, that what surprise I'm bringing on the next week as of now. Thank you so much once again. Thanks,
Thank you,
Kelly.
Atul. Bye.
Bye bye. Thanks.